Hello and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2. In this episode, we're going to start bringing resources into our cargo hub here. Now, one thing that just happened between episodes is this coal mine sort of just spawned here. And it's not a terrible thing, so we might just leave it. Not that we can really get rid of it anyway, but I think we can sort of work around it, as it doesn't impact us really in any way at the moment. So what we can do is just sort of close off that future expansion there, and then we could maybe branch off out this way if we need a road coming over to here. It also doesn't really seem to get in the way of our train lines, so as long as it doesn't become an issue, I'm fine with leaving the cargo hub where it is, and maybe even this will despawn after a few years. But anyway, back to what our objective is. I think we're going to try to bring some construction materials from this construction materials plant into the cargo hub, and we'll transition it to bringing construction materials into Akron. So instead of directly sending it from Akron, or from the construction material plant into Akron, we'll bring it to the cargo hub and then ship it back out over to Akron. Now, none of the extremely nearby cities take construction materials, so I don't know if we're going to connect up any other cities this episode, but definitely in the future we could start getting some out to Tucson and Cedar Rapids. So first, what we're going to want to do is bring a train line out of this station. Now this is considerably higher in elevation compared to over here, so we're going to have to sort of follow the mountain just a little bit until we get over here to the cargo hub. So we can come here and we can begin descending down, as that's going to be one of our toughest challenges here. As we can see, there's sort of a big valley here that we have to bridge over, and we definitely have to lose some elevation between here and the cargo hub. So we'll stick with this. I think this is pretty good, just like that. And let's see just how bad it would be trying to bring this across here. And I'm not a huge fan of making these massive bridges, but in some cases you just sort of have to deal with it, as there's not much you can do. I think this will be okay. We are still going down. I don't want to have this entire track going extremely downhill the entire way, but or at least where we need it, we can have it going down. And I think we end up pretty good coming into the station here. So we'll do that. We certainly don't want our only high traffic road cutting across the train track. So we're going to turn this into a tunnel where we can take this, lower it down just a little bit, see if we can get a bridge or a tunnel, and then we can bring it up over on this side. So now that that's done, we can go through at our second track and put in the signals. Alright, so we have our signals on our track, and all that's left to do is place down a train depot and get this train rolling. Now let's see if we can try to get it off of the same depot over here, and we'll see how easily we can do this. And it looks like we can do it pretty reasonably. I don't think there was really any issues there. So we'll just have to see if it can find its way over once we set up the train. Alright, so this is the train we're going to go with. We're using a newer EMD SD40-2 train. This one has probably some of the best power and tractive effort we have, while also being fairly cheap to run. So I'd like to see how this train does with carrying cargo. So we'll keep with one train for now. If we need to increase the amount of trains or maybe make it longer, we will have to see and figure that out. But it looks like it's able to find the new line pretty easily. And so then all we have to do is configure it to carry the correct things into our cargo hub. So here comes the new train out of the depot and heading over to the new line. And I think with that, it'll be running pretty well. So then next we gotta set up our truck line between the cargo hub and Akron. Alright, so first we'll want to make sure that our truck stop is located right in the middle of where all the construction materials are needed, as it seems like I think this is the old one. Maybe it needs to shift up a street, and obviously we can't get all of it in one truck stop, but we can get most of it, and I'm okay with that for now. So we'll place this down on this street here. And now what we can do is begin deleting this here. We'll want to come in, manage all the vehicles on this line, and sell all of them. Actually, we probably didn't need to sell all of them because we can just repurpose the line. But anyway, we'll add in our new cargo hub, and then we'll come into Akron and add in the new station we have in here. And we should see that this worked out. So at the cargo hub, it should only be carrying construction materials. And if we come in here, we'll actually need to find a road depot and add trucks to it. We can get rid of that truck stop. And now we can come in here, add some new trucks. I think we'll go with this truck here. We'll get 10 of those, seems pretty good. We'll need to get those running on the construction materials line. So we can see our trucks coming out. They can carry 25 of every material. So hopefully these will work out for us in the long run. And then we'll just come through here and upgrade these roads just to make sure they'll be running on the sort of best road, the fastest roads that they can. And hopefully we'll begin seeing construction materials building up here, which definitely seems to be the case. And even our shipment number here at the construction materials plant is going up because we are servicing a bigger area of construction materials. And then looking in at Akron's sort of statistics, construction materials is definitely high on its list of priorities, being the second most needed resource here. Now, the next resource I quickly want to hook up is this tools factory here. Since every city around the cargo hub will need tools, connecting this up to the cargo hub will be very beneficial for us in the future. I'm not too sure if we have really the infrastructure needed in the sort of production buildings, but there's definitely options for us to bring more planks and tools in from other locations. So what we're going to need to do is select this tool line, and we can manage it. So instead of going into Akron, we can have it come into our cargo hub up here. Make sure it goes into a different platform, and make sure that it's only bringing us tools and it's only unloading here at the cargo hub. One thing we'll also do really quick is replace these vehicles, as we'll need pretty high volume and capacity of vehicles coming through here. And one thing that I see already potentially being an issue is all of this stuff happening here. So, in order to prevent all of our trucks from backing up, we'll get rid of all this here. We'll have to come out and get rid of this street here. But we'll come in and just add a little bit more length to each one of these platforms. Because the last thing we need is for our cargo hub to have issues with traffic and being all sort of mixed up when it starts getting higher volume traffic coming through here. So now we can just connect this up with a one-way street back up to here, and now hopefully this will be able to hold at least 2. That's probably close enough. That might provide space for other trucks to come around if needed, but as these trucks begin to space themselves out on the line, this shouldn't become too much of an issue. So then, of course, the very last thing we have to do is to get trucks bringing the tools from the from the cargo hub into the city of Akron. And then we'll just turn off traffic lights here. Well, we'll hope this doesn't become an issue. Actually, we'll move this back so we can place a road so that it will not become an issue in the future. So then, yeah, we can turn off traffic lights there because we should never really need to use them. Right, and then going into the city of Akron for bringing tools, we'll buy 8 of these, and we'll actually need to see where the best spot is for tools. And it looks like we already have one here. So we'll keep that. We might actually even be able to get rid of a few of these because there's not... I think tools is probably the least needed resource in Akron at the moment. So we'll have them come in here and just make sure they're only bringing in tools. Alright, so now we have 2 resources connected up to the cargo hub. We now have tools and construction materials coming in pretty frequently, and hopefully we'll begin to see them stacking up here. And let's just make sure down here we have some tools waiting, and if we look here, it doesn't seem like any of these have tools yet, but I think the demand needs to sort of regrow before this starts going up again. And then lastly, what I want to do is just sort of go through some of these cities and upgrade the roads connecting them with better roads, maybe 4-lane roads between each city. I know this might begin to encourage traffic issues like we have on the other side of the map, but I just don't think it's realistic having dirt roads connecting cities in the year 1980. There would definitely be better roads connecting cities, and if that brings more traffic, then that's just simply something we have to deal with. So let's just come through and see if we can connect, or see if we can upgrade all of these roads to 4-lane roads for now. We're not going to get too crazy and do any highways yet, but we'll see what sort of effect this begins to have on traffic between the cities. So now we have Akron and Garden Grove connected. We'll have this turn into a highway. And I'm aware that this is sort of directly competing with our passenger line, but the goal is that even with this passenger line, or even with this bigger highway road connecting, that the passenger line would still be quicker, at least for most people, but we'll just have to see what happens there. So it looks like we'll have to rebuild this road here, as it doesn't seem to like crossing there. We might have to go under the tracks here. So we'll pull that back far enough. Actually, let's pull that back all the way to here. So now that's pulled back far enough where we can begin to go down and get a tunnel. And then this can just simply connect up like that, and everything else can get upgraded. So I think those are pretty logical highway connections. I think maybe we save the road between Green Bay and Akron for another day, because this road has all sorts of stuff going on it, and we should definitely think about connecting it a different way, maybe having the road come up here and connecting on this highway between Akron and Garden Grove, so that all of the trucks we have running on this road here don't get caught up in all the new traffic we would be making. With that, now that our cargo hub is finally working, that's going to be it for this episode. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions or feedback, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.